Aloha and good evening, everyone. Thank you. As you already know, I'm Mercy's brother, and we are here to celebrate the life of Marciana de Leon. She was also known to her friends as Marcy and to our Ohana as Mabos. She has left us with many, many fond memories that will live forever in our hearts and minds. And I would like to share a few of them with you. Mercy was the fourth of 8 siblings and grew up in the Ola plantation camp. She was the one who spoiled me rotten since I was the baby of the family. I clung to her like one upihi. This predicament worked in her favor, since this kept her from doing the house chores. I would whoop and holler and cry the minute I lost sight of her. And our dad would get very upset and and would ask for someone to take care of me. Of course, my sister Mercy always came to my rescue. This upset our other 2 sisters, Rose and Laurie. They were the ones who ended up doing all the house chores, puting, yeah? And if Mercy did some of the housework, she would do it Kapula style. She would do half jobs. Our sister Rose recalls the days when our mother did the laundry for the single Filipino man who worked in the sugarcane fields. It was hard work, and before ironing the clothes, my sisters had to sprinkle the starched clothes with water, roll them up, and place them in a huge galvanized bucket, and cover the items with a piece of material. And after the pieces became saturated, the ironing marathon began. Each of my sisters had their own quota of clothes to work with. But Mercy decided to hide her share in the closet. Of course, our mother kept a close inventory of the clothes and knew which articles were missing. She found the missing items in the closet, and they were full of mildew. Ay, caramba. I'm sure our mom gave her the business. Mercy loved to dance, and I guess we can call her the Jeribot Queen. She and Rose attended the dance socials held at the gym known as the casino. It's just a huge empty building. This was where she met her late husband, Albert, who was in the military at the time. Their favorite song during the war era was I'll Walk Alone. After a lengthy courtship and with approval of our parents, they were married. Before starting a family of their own, they cared for 2 foster children for a very brief period. Mercy and Albert had 5 children. They were all females. Sandy, Alberta, Susan, Danette, and Eloise. Mercy and Albert yearned for a male offspring. And after the 6th attempt, oh my God, they hit the jackpot. Clayton burst into the scene. Mercy and Albert's family was now complete. I had the opportunity of watching the children grow up since I would occasionally babysit for them. Mercy worked as a roommate at the 911 Hotel, and she was a very strict disciplinarian. The children were assigned house chores, and they were to be done before she got home. Naturally, they played instead of doing their chores, but they would hustle and complete their chores just before Mercy arrived home. You did not break any of the rules. If you did, oh boy, you suffered the consequences. Mercy loved to travel. She and Albert traveled to the mainland and also did the Las Vegas scene. They even moved to Las Vegas, but as the saying goes, there's no place like home. So they moved back to Hilo. Thank goodness. Next, Mercy became an avid bowler when she and Albert became involved with the senior bowling league. Mercy was a very excellent cook and baker. She did everything from scratch, none of the box things, you know. When she baked, she rarely measured the ingredients. She simply threw every ingredient into a bowl, and the end result was a perfect product. I would sit and watch in amazement whenever she cooked or baked. Her biscuits was always a treat, so tender and flaky. And the German chocolate cake and rum cake were great, great treats. Mercy loved music. She had many favorite tunes from country to ballads. She also had a great sense of humor, and we had a few good laughs. I will miss her laughter. Mercy was such a caring person. I recall when I was a youngster, she and Al would purchase Easter baskets and give them to me and our sister Rosa's children. I always look forward to that special occasion. Thank you, Mercy, for being such a loving sister. Salamat. This is not the end, but a new beginning as Mercy embarks on a new journey. A journey that will take her to a very special place in paradise, where she will be reunited with her husband, Albert. We love you and we miss you tremendously. Godspeed.
I just have two things to say. Facebook, and thank you. I'm not going to talk too much, but I like to talk, so this is going to be a struggle for me. I want to thank everybody that's helped us through the last year and a half, last 5 years, since Dad passed away about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. But Ella, who stayed back home, who has really been the one to stay in Hilo and to care for Mom and Dad. And Sandy, we always butt heads because we're both hot-headed. But Sandy, who opened her house up to Mom and Dad in the last years. And my sister Berta, who probably had the closest relationship to Mom. And then Danette, who butted heads with Mom sometimes, I think, because she was Dad's favorite. But we all loved Mom, and I didn't realize it tonight until Uncle Noyo was playing I'll Remember You, and I couldn't stop crying. I didn't know how much I loved my mom. And it took this last year and a half to understand that. Because when I look at Cousin Bert, and he's always been a mama's boy. It's your fault. I never could admit to myself that I'm a mama's boy too. You know, because I was always macho and always, I don't know, something else. But things came and I had to come home and be with Mom. And it wasn't my choice, but it's the best year and a half of my life. I've had a beautiful, fun life. I'll put a commercial in here for the University of Southern California. The greatest university in the history of the universe. But other than that, I can't imagine a more special gift than any child in this room, or any child, whoever lives in this world, that can come home and spend time and try to care for their mom. There's nothing like it in the world. She loved all of us, and she cared for all of us in ways we don't even understand. And then I just was lucky enough, and unlucky. My business fell apart in the mainland, so I had to come home. But I was lucky enough to be able to spend all my time with Mom at the very end. A wonderful gift. So the second thing I was going to say, Facebook is number one, because the last year and a half I've been throwing all this stuff up on Facebook about me and Mom eating, because she couldn't go out too much anymore at the end, because it was too painful. So we ate a lot, and I got fat, but she was happy anyway. And the last thing, the only other thing I want to say is thank you. And thank you to Auntie Ndai, Auntie Rose, Uncle Nonoy, Uncle Pete, who we spent the last few times eating Auntie Lati's ding ding and sari sari and all this kind of stuff. It was just special, Ronnie, who's like, when Mom passed away, Ronnie came up to the house. He was the first one that came up, because I called him, and he did his thing, I did my thing. I was crying this way, he was crying that way. And then he told hospice, I'm the other son. And then I was thinking, yeah, that's true, that's the other son. And he goes, no, I'm the first son. This guy over here is the second son. But it's true. Mom and Dad loved Ronnie. And it's amazing stuff. And then the extended family who brought so much to me and my sisters, to my mom, and all these things about waffles and my boss and all this stuff. It's like, I'm sitting over here like laughing inside my head. I was just going to say thank you. So thank you to everybody who contributed your love, Auntie Lita, Auntie Carmen, Uncle Joe, Pablo, and Alan, and everybody Rachel, and I'm going to forget somebody, so you know what, I'm going to stop thanking. But Tina, blueberry squares, oh my God. Okay, that's all I got to say. Thank you guys for Valerie, Veriato Victorine, for really sharing her love with Mom, our neighbor Bev, Sue Paletano, who came and the last 8 days of Mom's life helped me because I couldn't anymore, and so she stepped in and helped. And it's just all a blessing. All of you people, and everybody with mothers and without mothers, and with kids, love your moms and love your kids. No matter how hard, no matter how much you like butt heads, love your families. That's all I'm going to say. And the next thing I'm going to say is, take it away, Guara. This is going to be on Facebook. That's why I said Facebook.